Perfect. I guess we should fire these up.
I'd like to call to order the Open Space Parks and Recreation Committee meeting. First, I'd like to read the land acknowledgement. The land that Eureka rests on is known in the Wiyot language as Juruji. Past actions by local, state, and federal governments removed the Wiyot and other indigenous peoples from the land and threatened to destroy their cultural practices. The city of Eureka acknowledged the Wiyot community, their elders, both past and present, as well as future generations. This acknowledgement demonstrates the city's commitment to dismantle the ongoing legacies of settler colonialism. Can we have the roll call, please?
Yep. Commissioner Sims,
Here.
Commissioner Parks,
Present.
Commissioner Mallett,
Here.
Commissioner Mays,
Here.
Commissioner Brenner,
Here.
Commissioner Houghton,
Here.
and Commissioner Bareilles is not with us tonight, so.
Okay. Next on the agenda is the approval of the minutes. The recommendation is to approve the minutes from April 24th, 2025, the regular meeting as submitted. To the commission, are there any questions, corrections, or comments from the commission on the minutes for the April 24th, 2025 meeting? Is there any public comment on this item? And we have nobody in the audience. Do we have anybody on Zoom tonight? Just staff. Hello, staff. Okay. Otherwise, since there's no public comment, do we have a motion to approve the minutes as submitted?
I'll motion to approve. Second.
Please vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And the motion passes. And so we've approved the minutes. The next agenda item is commission reports. And are there any commission reports? All right. And so now we'll move on. And since there aren't any, we'll move on to the next agenda item, which is public comments. And since we have no public in attendance tonight, we'll move on to old business. And so the first item in old business is the Dayas Park Improvement Project. Robin, but I take it that, is Robin on? Hi, Robin. Didn't see you, that little square up there. There she is. Welcome.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and share screen for the update.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, can we see a photo on the screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I wanted, as part of our update, I wanted to start with some photos, some progress photos. So what you're looking at here is our sports court, which has been here for a while, but what's new is all of our basketball posts, and we chose a festive orange, which really complements the rest of the park. So we were excited to see those go up. And then what also has been happening is the rubber pour in place. This is the safety surfacing to protect kids if they fall. So what you're seeing here is this black part is actually the rubber that's under the pretty rubber. So they put that down first, then they add the color. So this area is not complete, but they start with their colorful shapes. So this is our toddler crab slide. We have some purple and some kind of seafoam green, and there'll be more colors there as they progress. And then this is another area where we have a spinner and a swing set, and this is a nice kind of yellow beige mix. And then this other area will receive color as well. And then this is kind of an upfront area that doesn't have any play equipment. It's just an open space to hang out, and it is blue and has a salmon design in it. And then our baseball field did get brand new bleachers on both sides. And then the fun part about our 2 full-size basketball court, futsal, roller hockey, multi-use court is we also have a half court for basketball on the outside. So they're actually, we're pouring this today. I took this photo just before they poured the concrete today. And then another fun update is our large welcome to the park sign has been installed. It doesn't have the letters on it yet that will say Dayas where the cypress are, but it's this beautiful custom made concrete wall that will be one of the features when you pull in to welcome you to the park. And then another, going back to more rubber, sorry, the photos were not in order. This is the other side of the playground, opposite of the crab slide. It's the parkour course, which is different kind of challenging obstacles. And this has different stripes of color. So again, this black is the underneath color. So there'll be more color there. And there's just some really cool striping and curving shapes to the whole design that's really aesthetically pleasing. And it's also very cool to see the process that the rubber vendor is going through to make these designs. It's quite fascinating. Oh, and then this was just another up close picture of that yellow and beige rubber around the spinner. So those are our photos, and overall I would just conclude that this dry weather has been excellent for progress. This past month we've seen a lot of progress, and some of the major milestones left are getting the irrigation and power turned on and getting the grass installed and then striping the sports court and the parking lot. Those are our big items to wrap up. So we're looking very good for opening sometime this summer, and hopefully next month when we see you, we'll have some more concrete dates. I don't want to overpromise because anything could change, but this has been a great month for progress, and we're really happy with how the park is coming together. And once that rubber is done, it will really feel like a complete space. So happy to see if there's any questions or comments.
Commissioners, do you have any comments or questions for Robin? Well, thank you, Robin, for that update. It's all very exciting stuff. The colors are great. Let's move on to the annual commission report to the council. Donna?
Yes, good evening, commissioners.
Hi.
This item is pretty simple. Last meeting, it was solidified. We spoke about September 16th, and this is the official approval of the September 16th for the commission to bring a report to City Council. So the next step would be for staff to receive guidelines as to what it is that you would like to include in that report, and then we can help assist in preparing that.
Okay, how will that work? Do we prepare, as a commission, we prepare a list for you, or?
I think that could be a good place to start. Maybe we could receive some details via email to simply start the process, and then we can. Maybe what we'll do once we get that information from you all, we will compile a draft report of some kind that I don't know if is it appropriate to process through that here in this setting?
Yeah,
It seems like we could.
I
right?
think that what we've done in the past is we gathered main talking points, and then we can also, as staff, suggest things too that maybe you aren't that weren't brought up, and then kind of make an outline, and then start to build the content.
I feel like
And-
last month we did do that.
I think
a
that
bit,
I wasn't here, but I
so-
do believe there was some suggestions.
There was a
So-
list of about
Yeah.
5 topics, but I think we need more guidance because one of the topics was adult fitness. But I think as staff, we wouldn't know what it is your commission would like to report on regarding that. So I think we got to dive in a little bit more.
So are you suggesting that each commissioner send staff a list in an email?
We could do it via email, or perhaps you bring it to the next meeting and we
Okay.
process through it together. We've got
Okay.
the time together. We might that's okay to do.
All right.
That sounds
So
smart.
commissioners, it sounds like if during the next month, those of you that will be attending the next meeting, if you could bring a list of talking points for the annual commission report to the city council, then we can go further from there. Okay, great.
Sounds good.
Thank you for, and are there any questions or comments about presenting the annual report that you'd like to address to staff at this moment? Okay, then let's, says the item returns to the commission for a motion. I don't think that there's anything we need to vote
There's
on
no-
right
there's
now.
no
Do we-
action.
Right, no
Do we not
action.
need to approve the date officially? Because I don't know if we
Oh, good
have
point.
yet.
Right.
That
Do
seems
we
smart.
have?
Yeah, we could, the date could be approved. Yeah.
Okay. So do we have a motion to select September 16th, 2025 to present the commission's annual report to the city council? Anyone want to make
I
that?
so move.
Okay. Anyone want a second?
I'll second.
All right. Let's vote. I vote aye for September
Aye.
16th.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. The motion passes.
And I'm just going to mention that you definitely asked for public comment before we took a vote on anything.
Oh, on that one.
Yes.
Okay.
Anything you vote on has to be,
Even
we have to
if,
just say it's open to public comment.
oh, okay. Even though
There's
no
nobody here,
public
we
to
have to
comment.
say
All right.
that it was open to public comment.
Okay.
So,
So officially I said
yes.
there was no public
no
comment.
public comment.
And
Okay.
the staff process for that too will be submitting our end to the get on the agenda, and there's a process that we'll do, and that needs to be like 2 weeks in advance. And so then if there was some problem with that date at that time for whatever reason, staff would get direction from like through the city manager's office, but that we'll go with our plan.
Okay. So there could be possible delays, but we'll know of that closer to September 16th.
I'm not anticipating anything, but
Yeah,
it sometimes is depending on what's going on.
And that's understandable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who made the motion and seconded?
Flo.
I seconded.
Perfect.
And now we're going to move on to new business, Recreation Day Camps and Scholarship Program. And Catherine Cunningham. Hi, Catherine.
You just have to push the button.
Great. Good evening. My name is Catherine Cunningham. I'm Community Services Coordinator for the Recreation Division, and I'm going to be giving you some information about our summer day camp programs as well as our financial aid opportunities for those. So a little bit about our programs. We run 2 outdoor camp programs over the summer, Camp Sequoia and Camp Cooper. Camp Sequoia takes place outdoors in Sequoia Park, and Camp Cooper takes place at the Cooper Gulch Recreation Center. Both programs focus on active outdoor play, environmental education, and connection with the environment. At both programs, we also have an opportunity for teens ages 13 to 17 in our Leader in Training program, where they gain valuable leadership skills working alongside our staff. Our scholarship funding for Camp Sequoia and Camp Cooper is the city has been able to provide scholarships that equal to 40 weekly enrollments of camp. That's what we've done traditionally and continue to do now. Reimbursement for supplies and staffing is provided by grant funding from the Habitat Conservation Fund from California State Parks. And we also have some additional scholarship capacity provided locally by Humble sponsors. Last summer, we revamped our financial aid program, and we were able to provide 75 individual scholarships that totaled $41,600 in full tuition scholarships, as well as an additional $2,197 in half tuition scholarships, specifically provided by Humboldt sponsors. And last year was the first year where we were able to provide financial aid at both Camp Cooper and Camp Sequoia. Previous, it was only provided at Camp Cooper. It gave more variety to our applicants. This year is in full swing, and I'll give you some updates as we have them. So this year, we opened our financial aid application date a month prior to open registration on April 7th, and we were able to give priority registration to folks who were our financial aid applicants. We promoted this through the City of Eureka website, our social media outlets. We brought physical brochures to schools in Eureka City Schools, Cutton, Ridgewood, as well as South Bay districts, and also through direct outreach to various community groups. In order to qualify, applicants can, there are three options. One is proof of receipt of public assistance. Primarily, we receive proof of CalFresh or Medi-Cal benefits to qualify that way. They can also qualify through income eligibility or special hardship circumstance. And all of our scholarship funds were completely used by May 1st, just 24 days after we opened this early registration date. Very exciting to get all of that where it needs to go. This year, 49 individuals received scholarships for a total of $48,000 in full tuition scholarships. A slight difference from summer 2024. We have staggered the start dates of both programs to provide full coverage for the summer. Camp Sequoia is starting a week prior to Camp Cooper, and families had the opportunity to register for up to 9 weeks of camp and apply for scholarship funding for those. So why summer camp? Not only does this provide much needed childcare to folks in our community, but it also offers the children in our community to make a connection with nature. It gives them the chance to make new friendships. It builds resiliency, teaches social skills, and creates an appreciation for our community. So widening this opportunity for financial aid has increased the capacity for creating better Eureka citizens. And thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So how many kids total participate?
So our total capacity for Camp Sequoia is 50 kids per week, and Camp Cooper is 36 per week. The numbers of scholarships don't seem to line up quite with that because a lot of families are requesting for the entire summer. So we were able to help 49 individuals. Overall, it's split between, it depends on if they requested coverage for Camp Sequoia and Camp Cooper. I would say on average, when I was processing these, about half of the enrollment at Camp Sequoia was folks receiving financial aid.
Any other comments or questions?
What is your total budget for the camp?
I would have to look that up in terms of staffing and supplies provided. I do not know off the top of my head.
Or a percentage of, I'm really trying to figure out what the percentage of scholarships are based on your budget.
I would
Staff
have
would
to
be
get
happy to bring that back
Yes.
to the commission in a future time.
Yeah, thank you.
Excellent. Well, thank you for your really thorough presentation, and it's really wonderful to hear all the wonderful opportunities you're providing for families of all income levels.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Catherine. Moving on to our reports, the McKay Community Forest Advisory Group. First of all, Dennis, would you like to report, give us an update on trail work?
Sure. So trail work continues. But it's kind of cool this summer because the group has primarily focused on, there's a loop trail right directly behind Redwood Acres out off of Harris Street, and then also at Northridge off of Walnut. And so these two loop trails, after a couple of years, are finally getting where they need to be. And so starting this summer, we're looking at now kind of formalizing the trails that will connect these little islands, so to speak. I mean, it's all within the McKay Forest, but so it'll be nice just to kind of legitimize these trails. And so I can tell you my volunteers are really stoked about that. We've been treading over the same ground for a while, and we will continue to do so. But yeah, just kind of linking up these areas. So yeah, just steady progress.
You're doing such great work out there.
Thank you.
So on Tuesday, the advisory group, we did meet for our quarterly meeting, and I'll report on that if that's fine with Dennis. And so first we had a presentation from the forester from BBW and Associates, and he gave us an overview of the timber management plan. And so selective harvesting is expected to begin in the summer of 2026 if they get all of the permitting, if all the permitting goes through. And timber sales are going to be used to both pay down the loan that the county had to take out to get the land from Green Diamond, but then also finances will be provided from the timber sales for managing the forest for public use. And the goal is to make the McKay forest as beautiful as the Arcata Community Forest, meaning that through management, there'll be more, bigger trees, spaced out more. It won't look like commercially logged property where there's a lot of smaller trees close together, which kind of is the look of some parts of the McKay right now. So it's very exciting how it's going to develop. And, in the meantime, though, there's bridges to be built, engineered and built. There's roads to be built. There's bike ramps to be put in. It's all just going to be quite a wonderful place for the public to get together. Also, the county has received a significant donation from, I think it's okay for me to say, it's Eureka Natural Foods, to prompt other people to make matching donations to the McKay Community Forest. And so the advisory group is looking into setting up a fund at Humboldt Area Foundation to manage those donations. And let's see. Oh, also trail names, because Dennis has made such good progress with the trails around Redwood Acres that I guess we're getting close to, first we're going to be naming some of the trails, and then they're going to start doing more public announcements to encourage the public to start using those trails more often. So a lot of exciting stuff going on with the McKay Community Forest. So are there any comments or questions from the other commissioners about McKay?
So as it develops, maybe even online, just make a little map of that place with the trails, because it's easy to get turned around out there. It can it can happen, and that would go well with once there's some trail names. It might help as well. But yeah, and you wouldn't have to print it or make it. I mean, if it was just available online, people could either look at it or make their own copy.
I think that's a really good idea. Thank you, Barbara. Anything else? Okay, so
Definitely in the works.
yeah. Upcoming volunteer opportunities. Robin.
Yeah, thank you. We just have a couple things going on in June. First Saturday of June, June 7th, is our every other month trash bash. We'll be meeting down at Vigo Street by Mod Pizza at 9 a.m. Always have bagels donated by Los Bagels to fuel you before you help us clean up the waterfront. And then the following Saturday, June 14th, every month we're at Sequoia Park removing ivy with our Ivy League led by volunteer coordinator Heidi. So we'll be there from 9 to 1, and you can drop in anytime. You don't have to have any experience. Folks will show you what to do. And that is all we have for volunteerism in June.
Oh, okay. Well, any comments or questions for Robin on volunteer activities? Okay.
I'd just say you guys have been making a significant impact on the ivy in Sequoia Park. And it's totally cool. So
Thank you for all that effort. It's a lot of work. Let's move on to Parks Capital Projects with Jeff.
All right, so got a few updates for a couple of parks that we've been doing a lot of work on. We've been talking about a long time. Highland Park, our restroom finally got electricity. So we are tying up all the loose ends with the facility there and working on a schedule for the restrooms. It will be similar to other parks, open daily. And it's got 4 individual restroom units that are unisex, and then there's also the snack shack, which as I've mentioned before, we received a donation from Valley Pacific Petroleum. So we've got some signage to put up, and then they'll be open regularly. And we've seen a lot of use there, especially with the pickleball courts. So I'm really thrilled to have this. We're also seeing a lot more activity at the ball field there, with Jacob Haney being closed for Redwood Empire Little League. They've been doing a lot of work out there, which has been needed for a little while, and utilizing the field, and then they'll utilize the snack bar too, and which is great for the community and the neighborhood there. Another thing we are receiving this week and have received some items. We ordered a bunch of new play equipment, and these pieces will be kind of placeholders for some of the parks that we have in progress. And one of those being Carson Park. We have like a new swing set that we're going to be replacing. We have a bigger project that's going on with Kiwanis that we've talked about, but there's some deficiencies there. There's not enough equipment. So we've gotten some smaller play pieces to put in that'll be temporary, and until we get those projects done, which is, some of them are going to take a little while. Another one is at Sequoia Park. Obviously, if you've been there, you've seen we've had to remove one of the pieces that's just outdated. We can't get replacement parts for a lot of those things, including Carson Park. They don't make them anymore, and you can't just kind of wing it with building your own slide. It just doesn't cover us for liabilities. And so the things that we've gotten are some swing sets, some spinners, the little curva spinners, if you've seen those. They're very colorful. They don't take up a lot of space, and space in playgrounds is important because every play piece has its own fall zone that you have to consider. So swings take up a lot. A curva spinner takes up like a 6-foot radius. And so how you place and plan to put things is important, and it's really important for safety and liability for the city. And then we've gotten some teeter-totters, like a double rider teeter-totter. You don't see teeter-totters anymore. There's a reason why, but they're making them safer. And so, of course, these are we have some of those for Sequoia Park. We have some spinners. We have rockers, things like that. That just, as things have gone away, we need to put something back in there. And while we're working on these campaigns for Carson specifically and Sequoia, and we'll be coming back to you guys later in the year, but not too late, to talk about our plan as we're developing that right now with our landscape design tech from Landscape Structures. So it's exciting. We have a lot of exciting things going on at parks, and even the little improvements, make that kid's day when they show up and there's something new and it's bright and shiny, and so, as well as Dayas. It's, as Robin mentioned, every week that we're out there, it's like, okay, we're seeing it all come together, and it's, the weather has been wonderful, and so it's the pour in place rubber surfacing and all the play equipment and the sign walls and the amenities that are showing, the tables and benches and picnic tables are showing up tomorrow morning, and the barbecues, and so all the things we've waited so long for is now it's all happening. So it's very exciting. And that is what I've got for Parks Capital Projects. If anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Hey, Jeff, so some of those improvements for Sequoia Park, they're going to be implemented like this summer? Is that what we're talking?
Correct.
Timeline?
So we're receiving orders, and we expect them like any day. And so they're placeholders. They're not big structures. Therefore, we can put them in, pull them out later when we do. We'll have a master plan that is all designed by a landscape design person that has to take in every aspect of all of the spacing, the appropriate age group of play, and we need to, there's the two categories of play of the 2 to 5 and 5 to 12, different categories of play equipment. And when we're designing, we're looking to have all of that, as well as we're going to make it unique and awesome. Wait till you see what we've done at Dayas. And The other thing I did want to talk about too is we're planning grand openings for Highland Park, and we're looking at in August. So we'll come back to you. We're finalizing some dates that work around all of our other events this summer, and so we'll have a grand opening at Highland, and hope to have like music and food for everyone, and even one of our donors wants to bring a stage and stuff. So it'll be a really fun time out there and great for that neighborhood, as well as Dayas will be a big blowout. And that we're looking in September sometime. So we'll get you some exact dates on that. We expect all of y'all to be there and enjoy it with us. And we're super excited. So yeah.
Yeah, that's great, man. And, like at my McKay travels, when I'm doing that, I always go by the zoo and and the playground there at Sequoia. And Jim gave that report about the zoo and the attendance increase and all that over the years, which is awesome. And then just so nice seeing just that toddler playground area with the new bathrooms and stuff. That place is always packed, and
Yep.
stuff. And I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's just a good thing.
Yeah, we have a duty to keep the tradition of making those places special.
Totally.
Well, I think it's a stunning plan to put placeholders in because people are playing in those spaces now. So it also is just cost effective in that there's going to be less damage and less people getting hurt because they'll have something to do when they're there.
Yes.
And so thank you for thinking outside the box as we're looking towards our big vision for especially Sequoia Park. I'm kind of thinking of that park and how one day I know I'll come up and we'll see the climbing structures around the trees and all the things that we've envisioned over the years. So, but thank you for also thinking about what we need now, because that just really keeps community invested and keeps people playing in our parks, which we want to see more of.
Yeah, thank you. We need the buy-in from the community and the park users, and we're very good at utilizing our budgets to the best of our ability. So that's what we're doing.
Oh, bravo.
Thank
Keep it up. Thank you, guys.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Jeff. And next, we have the Recreation Revenue Summary for April 2025. Pretty impressive numbers, I must say. And are there any questions or comments from the Commission on the Recreation Revenue Report? I'd like to see those big numbers.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of more of the same with like the past few meetings, but just, really great job. It's pretty incredible.
Okay, and any public comment on this item? And there's no public comment, and so now do we have a motion to accept the April 2025 revenue report?
I'll move to accept the April 25 revenue report.
Anyone second?
Second.
Okay, let's vote. Aye.
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 And so the motion passes to accept the April 2025 revenue report. And now we have staff reports. So
That
Donna?
would be me. So I've got a handful of fun, a little bit of a different topic to share that we haven't spoke with the commission about in a while. And that is just to celebrate the ongoing partnership that we have with Cal Poly Humboldt for specifically with the Recreation Administration Department and the internship program through that department and the university. We have for decades had a partnership. We've had interns from Humboldt in a variety of departments throughout the city. Specifically, we just ended another intern this past spring, and I also teach at the university, so it's the investment in the up and comers, the hook once you get them to actually out of the classroom and into the field, and get them inspired and fired up, and it's such a great use of staff time and for the city to invest and provide those hands-on learning experiences. So I just wanted to remind us all that your team is involved in doing that on a regular basis. So that's good stuff. And also another item to celebrate, a little bit more behind the scenes administrative approach for our department, is that whenever we hear of great ideas or would like feedback on maybe an idea that we've got a great connection with other rec departments throughout our community. So just yesterday, our team had a brief meeting with the recreation supervisor for the city of Arcata, because they're doing a fun new, I think it's happened twice so far, Repair It workshop event where they seek volunteers that have skills in a wide variety of areas, knitting or repairing a lamp, something, and they've had, at their first event, they had 100 folks show up. It was really successful. So we met with them to learn what happened, how did it work, was it successful, any tips or tricks on what we might do to consider it for one of our programs. So just thought it would be interesting for y'all to know that we are doing those types of things behind the scenes, because there's a lot of great knowledge from our colleagues throughout the county. So thought that would be interesting to share. And then in terms of upcoming events, we've got a very exciting day on Saturday, May 31st. Not this weekend, but next weekend. It is Forest Moon Festival time. We have a great partnership with the Humboldt Film Commission, Humboldt Del Norte Film Commission. And from 1 to 5 on Saturday, there are going to be a ton of exciting events happening free at the park, Sequoia Park. And then from 5 to 7 over at the zoo, there's it's a paid ticketed experience for adults 21 and over. And there will be all kinds of activities within the zoo. So Forest Moon Festival. There are also events happening all throughout our county and Del Norte County. If you're not familiar with it, it's a lot to do with Star Wars and the fact that the movies were well, I don't know how many movies, but some of that period. Just one? At least one. Okay. So that is on May 31st. And lastly, I just wanted to take a moment on behalf of the City of Eureka and your community services team to shout out and send a big dose of gratitude to Commissioner Parks and Commissioner Houghton for your time on the commission. This, I believe, is the last meeting. You'll be in attendance in person, and we all wanted to say big thanks. I know our meetings are often, they're not that long, and they're relatively positive, and I maybe sometimes it might not seem like there's a lot to do, but you must know that on our angle as staff, to be able to look up and to get affirmation and confirmation that we're doing what we're doing well, and also to have that accountability piece is a positive thing for the community. So your time, your attention, and your big smiles truly matter to us. So big thanks to both of you, and staff are available for questions if you have any.
Well, first, I'd like to say I'm going to miss you both.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for your service. Yes. Does anyone have questions for staff?
I have a couple more things to add.
Okay.
Before our last meeting, we did have a fishing event at the pond. It was a kids fishing event, which is the direction we've gone with the fishing stuff there. And we had over 80 kids come and worked directly. We had officers and staff from Department of Fish and Wildlife. We had recreation staff there, and it was really fun. We really served a lot of youth with some education on proper techniques, and then stewardship and environmental. And we've worked out some of the kinks. I know there has been issues with that, to where like we had pre-prepared some of the equipment so that they could use it. We got donations from local sporting goods stores. Some of them showed up there, and so it was really nice to see a lot of younger youth there getting that experience, which some of the kids had never had. The future of that is uncertain because our local hatchery is closing in Blue Lake, and that's where they've been bringing the fish from. So we'll continue talks with them, but it's it's not something that everybody likes there, and so there's a balance, and we definitely can take a little break. But I was really thrilled we got to do one. We were planning another one for Get Out and Play Day, but we're uncertain of that right now. But we'll have something in its place. And then this weekend, this is the season of events, and this weekend kicks off the kinetic race, and they'll be coming to Halverson Park tomorrow afternoon and camping. It's the one time a year we allow camping at that park, and they seek a permit through council, but it's quite the sight. And I was just driving here, and I saw a kinetic sculpture in an alleyway on a trailer, and about like 12 people in the alleyway, and they were practicing all their moves and their dance. And so it just shows like the cool traditions in Humboldt. In addition to that, on Saturday the 24th, Myrtle Grove Cemetery will be doing a Memorial Day celebration, and they'll have the flags out for the veterans, and then raise their own flag, have some tabling, and they got a few little small media coverages. I saw one today on Redhead Black Belt, I think, and it really recognizes the volunteer group that we have there, and I want to bring them to the commission for a report. We have a wonderful group of people that do the labor and the mowing and the headstones and the genealogy and updating websites and outreach to family and community that built our city. Basically, if you look on a lot of the headstones, it's the names of all of our streets, the Carsons, the Boones, and things like that. And so there's a lot of history to tell, and we have a wonderful group of people that help do that. And so they'll be out there from 10 to 2 on Saturday, tabling, and hopefully we'll get some more volunteers out. We usually do those types of events. So that's all I had to add.
Well, thank you for those additions. They're so rich, and they really tell the story of where we're going the next few weeks ahead. And we have, so many celebrations locally and throughout the county. So it's really a treasure to use our Halverson Park as a place that launches and helps us to do these bigger events countywide. I did have a question, though, about the camp that was previously held at the zoo. I'm wondering if there's any updates about that summer camp. Is it still going this year?
Yes. Same as has ever been. Same camp. Mm-hmm. I don't have any particular details. Happy to bring that back next time as well. But the camp at the zoo is still active. It's just a separate division. We're just speaking of the recreation division tonight.
Right, understood. And sometimes that camp also had scholarships available for families as well. So perhaps it would be great to hear, and maybe I'll tune in online to hear all of the updates about that camp, because I like to spread the word about those things to our youth and families.
Yeah, I just like to say too that repair thing, that the repair day or whatever Arcade is doing, that thing's a really cool thing, and man, yeah, it's a good thing.
We are seriously working on it.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That was cool to hear. And I was just curious, when's Friday Night Market and the concert series and all that stuff cranking up?
Concert series, I believe mid-June.
Yeah.
I think I saw an email through the market. I'm not sure. Robin, are you still there? Do you know the market startup date?
The market starts on the 7th.
Not offhand.
Oh, the 6th. The Friday the 6th, June 6th.
June? Oh, okay.
It all starts in
sweet.
June. Yeah.
Cool.
June 6th will be their first launch, and then throughout the summer, every Friday.
Nice.
Concerts every Wednesday. Come on down.
Yeah.
And there's one of the weeks there's going to be a circus and a concert all at the same place.
People look forward to that concert too.
It was kind of cool too. Did you guys see, in front of Dick Taylor Chocolate down there, they expanded the sidewalk and all that, and that's like, I guess they're going to have outdoor seating out there and stuff. I mean, spot on. Yeah.
That whole little area there, because I don't know if we've talked much about the Chinatown Monument that's going to be across the street on the corner of First and D, so kitty corner from that. Yeah. So the expansion of that, it's really, our old town is making a lot of strides in that more space to congregate, celebrate, have food together, stuff like that. It's cool.
Yeah.
And the new building, the rooftop and cafe, or the rooftop sushi and stuff like it's neat, and it's a neat perspective to see. So we're excited about all that.
How closely do we work with Humboldt Made and the Mark? And is that mainly Robin with the?
No, our we have a what's the division that economic development division, and they work a lot, but we have meetings, pretty regular meetings prior to and during the market, so that we can talk about like issues. And so some of our things are like restrooms and garbage and things like that, and how our staff can support that, how they can help, how we can make improvements throughout the year. The markets have been incredible, and the attendance is, to where we got all the bollard systems to block off the streets and make it safe, and it's super fun. If you haven't gone, check it out.
All right. Well, thank you so much, both Donna and Jeff. Those are great reports tonight. If there's nothing else, looks like we're ready to adjourn, and the next regular meeting will be on June 26, 2025, 6 p.m. in council chambers at Eureka City Hall. The meeting is adjourned at 6:49 p.m. Thank you very much. And Donna, if you'd like to come up here. Did you get it?